Hi, friends. I do not do flip-throughs, but I promised to do this. Well, I don't remember if I promised out loud to do this. Sorry for shaky cam. I don't remember if I promised out loud to do this. This is not the book that goes with these cards. I have actually had these cards slipping around and some of them just fell on the floor. However, here are 3 cards to show you. I'm going to show you 3 Celtic decks. This is actually from the Llewellyn, not the classic Llewellyn. There's a classic Llewellyn, which I believe is by Barbara Moore. And then this is the regular, definitely. I got the classic Llewellyn and this Llewellyn because I just wanted to have access to both of them, but I really bonded to this Llewellyn. Here we have, I apologize, I only pulled major arcana cards. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have, what does this say? Justice. Second one is Justice. Sorry, hold on. Sorry about blur. I don't know why it's blurring right now. I'll try to get that to focus. Hold on a second. There we go. Justice. Sorry about that blur. And then, okay, here we go. Hanged Man. So you can see, these are very ornate. Now, I really, I got the classic Llewellyn and this Llewellyn. I really bonded to this one. I am decluttering because, not out of any, malice toward any of my decks, but because, I just need to declutter. And this is the one that sticks with me, and I go to this deck a lot. I don't have this one has not necessarily in the major arcana, but it definitely has labeled mythic heroes from mostly Welsh. It's very Welsh. And I appreciate that about this deck. And you can see it does have borders. They don't bother me. It's oh, this is ornate. And that's not why I bonded to this deck. I bonded to this deck because it has a really wonderful depiction of several of the heroes. I only pulled major arcana cards when I pulled a handful out of this deck. I do shuffle it and stuff, but I shuffle overhand, so sometimes they clump together. Yeah, so that is the current, most current Llewellyn deck. Should still be in print. I did get this and the classic Llewellyn together, and I was a little worried about that they wouldn't necessarily be both in print, and that's why I got them when I found them. So that's the first one I want to show you. Second one. Now, I apologize. So, Llewellyn, I like the medium stock, Llewellyn card stock a lot. The card stock they were doing when I started getting this type of deck. And this is also a Llewellyn deck. This is what is it actually called? It's actually called I think it's just called the Celtic Tarot. But the thing about this is it's by Kristoffer Hughes, and he is actually Welsh and a Welsh pagan, but not in a neo-pagan way. He actually grew up speaking Welsh and practicing essentially Welsh druidry. And I also had in this pile the B tarot. If you want like more very like Celtic based information in your Llewellyn book. This is also a Llewellyn deck. And some of these cards are slippery, so I decided to just show 3 of each. Because, like, trust me, I've dropped all of these cards all over the place today. As you can see, so I wanted to be able to show you, like, some regular cards and a court card. So I have, this one is the King. Oh my goodness. That might get me in trouble. I can't remember which king is like the very lewd king when I'm taking them out of the box. But anyway, that was the king. I don't know if that's going to get me in trouble or not. But you can get an idea that basically these cards usually focus on a figure, and this is the regular just Celtic tarot, and Celtic tarot, and what I like about it is that he's Welsh, and he's not like, I'm a little bit picky because I actually, really study this stuff. And so, like, not every Celtic deck that comes along is gonna catch my eye. I've looked at I wanted to do this deck review for like a month and a half or more, but I had that whole family situation, and then I did get sick. I'm finally feeling better. I got sick from stress. It was kind of a lot. I am finally feeling better, and I'm able to do it. And while I was getting ready to do this video, I also looked at some other decks to see if I would bring them into this deck review series. I don't know, this is not a series, but like if I would have even more Celtic decks to review. And the answer is no, because I don't. Like, they were cute and everything, but that's about, for me personally, they weren't like deep enough. Now, so these like 2 that I just showed, they come with like a Llewellyn book, but I really do think that, the Kristoffer Hughes book would be very effective at like teaching like Celtic stuff. And then he does have another deck called the B Tarot. Not everyone is in love with the card stock of the B Tarot, but I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion on that. And I did have that in this pile, but it's not really quite related. It's just that it is another Kristoffer Hughes deck, which that's what these cards are, Kristoffer Hughes. I don't know who drew them. I'm sorry about that. And then I just, so anyway, those are, they're about as informative as any Llewellyn book, but I would say that Kristoffer Hughes would put in, like, more definitely Celtic influence. And then he has the B Tarot, which kind of explains Celtic bee. What is the word for like bee raisers? Like, I don't, beekeeper, like Celtic beekeeper lore and stuff. So I do have that too. It's indispensable to me because I just love his work. It's so well done. I have his books on Llewellyn and everything, and just like he's so, you can just tell he's really authentic. Like, no joke. So anyway, then we have this deck, which is a little different. Now, the Llewellyn deck over here, the one that's just called basically the Llewellyn Tarot or something. It does have, not in the major arcana, but throughout the whole deck, it has like sort of labeled heroes. So that's one feature of this deck. Now, over here we have, I tried to make like sort of a similar setup. This is a very thick book. It's very detailed with like Celtic lore. It's by the Findhorn Society or Findhorn. I'm not sure if they're the Findhorn Society, but they're Findhorn, like they're like a, I guess like a commune, or I don't know if they're actually a commune. But they like really like they are known for studying this stuff. And so this deck, you can see it's kind of sorry about, this is why I don't do flip throughs, because I don't want to show my low dexterity hands like in every video. But so you can see like this type of, so this is the Hermit, which to me looks, well, that's the Hermit. So you can sort of ghosty, sort of, I would say like sort of more feminine, but I don't know. I am looking at it through the camera, so I'm a little bit at a disadvantage. But then you can see that the focus in this deck is really on showing little bits of knotwork and stuff like that. So it is more pippy. And it goes by the elements like air, fire, water. So it goes by the elements rather than the suits of tarot, like that a beginner deck would, it may not be like a beginner deck, maybe not. And then this is like a court card. And let me just see something really quick. I want to double check something. So yeah, I was correct. So this says that it's the King of Fire, and on the top, I can't pronounce it properly, so I won't. But the King of Fire is a specific hero. It does still, I think, lean Welsh, or at least one suit is definitely Welsh, because it has like Arianrod, and I think Lou might be in here, but Arianrod is definitely in this deck. Although, please don't be mad at me if I'm wrong, but I am pretty sure she is in this deck. One thing about setting this up and everything, I have cards all over the floor because it was like kind of complicated to find space to spread out 3 decks. And one thing about this deck, the Llewellyn decks are a little bit more slippery. The Celtic deck, which is this one, I find is the most, it's definitely slippery. So that's one drawback. This one is definitely very matte, and it's not slippery. A lot of information in the book, although I only really know from walkthroughs, because some of the walkthroughs read through the book. I don't want to mess with that right now because this setup was already like complicated. But so I would say on the slippery side, like some Llewellyn cards are more slippery because they do have a little bit of gloss. And I would say the Celtic deck that is by Kristoffer Hughes is the most slippery. The other thing to note about the Findhorn deck, it's like, it looks like a Llewellyn box, but it's got that thing where the deck is split into 2 piles inside of the deck, inside of the box. So those are some things to keep in mind. And so I hope this is helpful. I know it's not a full flip through of the whole thing, but this was already I did clear space for, this is my little tarot like table setup thing on top of my big table, but like when I'm doing readings for this channel, I use this, and it had been sort of buried and back farther. So I did set this back up so that I could do this video, and there's only so much space for like 3 decks. 3 decks couldn't really fit on this little, at least not spread out. So I hope this is helpful to you, for you to know these are 3 Celtic decks that go really deep. They're not like surface level, and I hope, I mean, there is also the Llewellyn Classic, but I think it's not really as Celtic, ironically. Like, it's just more classic in the sense that it would be more Rider-Waite-Smith than Celtic, and that's just my feeling about it, though. And like I said, Kristoffer Hughes also has the B Tarot. So if you want like a deck completely about beekeeping, there is that deck too. It's relatively new, so it should still be in print. So I do hope that this is helpful to you, and yeah, I hope this is helpful to you. This was kind of a big project for this channel, and I apologize if it's janky. It is, for me, this is a big project, and I had to be ready to do it because I haven't been feeling well. And like, sorry about this camera angle. Sorry about it. Sorry about my filming skills. I don't know if there's been any shaky cam since the beginning. So I hope this is helpful to you. If you like this kind of content, I do a little bit on tarot, a little bit on spirit guides, a little bit on general, I don't really do techniques anymore, but there is a lot of that on my channel from the past. I also do kind of like blogging of my progress with where I'm at with my practice. Not necessarily always tarot, but my practice in general. Like I've done ones on shadow work that I've done. I've done videos on how I've healed some of my mental stuff with my practice, or at least tamed some of my mental stuff with my practice. So if you like this kind of stuff, like the video, subscribe, do whatever you comment, do whatever you'd like to interact with the video. Thanks very much. Have a wonderful day and week as always.